Hi everyone, welcome to episode 17. Hey, episode said we'd never get there, didn't they? Of movies new to the cinema and movie theatres near where you are. And this is all put together by myself, Bernard, on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. So I hope you enjoy this and some information. Most of these are on limited release here in the UK. Obviously, they may be on more general release in other territories around the world. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 films today, I think, there to actually have a look at. Right, the first one we're going to check out, this little one. Green Grass. It's 12A, an hour and 35 minutes. A comedy. It's about suburban soccer mums find themselves constantly competing against each other in their personal lives as their kids settle their differences on the field. Directed by Jocelyn, DeBoer and Luebbe, who I think it's something a little bit of that they put together and actually starred in as well. They do star in it along with Beck, Bennett. The critics liked it. The critics are giving it a 6.9 out of 10 rating. That's the Metascore rating on Internet Movie Database. The AV Club Katie Riffey wrote, always in control of its deeply bizarre suburban surrealist tone, even when its story is more like a series of comedy sketches than a feature film. Users are giving it a 6.3, so Joe Public, like you and me, they're giving it a 6.3 out of 10 rating. Vailmers on the 23rd of September wrote, give it 7 out of 10 and wrote, good, weird fun. Greener Grass was made by two women having fun. It's whimsical, colourful and surreal. The absurdity has a lot of coherence inside the film's universe and it'll keep you laughing. However, it kind of feels it would be better fitted for a series of short skits. So, yeah, reading between the lines, it's more of, I don't know, not a situation comedy thing. Obviously, it's more like a sketch thing, isn't it? So, obviously, about mothers, but it's got good ratings, so that might be worth a watch. So seek that out if you fancy that. That's Greener Grass, about some, they call them soccer mums in the US, don't they? We'd call them football mums here in the UK. It's called football as far as we're concerned, not soccer, but hey, that's another thing. Right, on to the next one, and this really is obviously the real biggie of the week. Obviously, Frozen 2. I don't think Frozen 2 really needs much introduction, does it? It's an hour and 43 minutes, so it's quite long again. Animation, adventure, comedy. Critics sort of like it. 6.7 out of 10, which isn't absolutely fantastic, is it? Los Angeles Times Justin Chang wrote, like the first film, Frozen 2 is less a triumph of storytelling than of packaging. It bundles together a bunch of familiar, likeable characters and a fresh list of bright, catchy songs, expertly written by the returning duo of Kristen Anderson-Lopez and Robert Lopez, with an ear toward the Broadway show tunes they will one day inevitably become. So obviously that's a Metascore. So that's a critics rating of 6.7 out of 10. User rating, only a little bit better, 6.8 out of 10. I mean, I was expecting a bit higher figures for this, to be honest with you. So it's averaging 6.8 out of 10. Austin wrote on the 14th of November, so only last week, 7 out of 10 he gave it, a change from the first. Frozen 2 has a different feel to it. While the first film was brimming with quirky moments, the follow-up feels a little more mature in its plot and themes. This story heavily centres around the importance of change, even if that means letting go. Yeah, we get the pun, mate. Throughout the film, I found myself dazzled with the quality and beauty of the visuals that the animation team laid out. The story for me felt a little flat, however. I think the writing team missed the mark when trying to achieve the same quirkiness from the original, with the more dramatic path the writers chose to take. Also came more epic musical numbers and effects. Sure, there are still plenty of humorous moments, but I personally felt myself longing for more. Overall, I'd say this film found success in what it was trying to achieve and the message it was trying to send to its viewers, but couldn't quite live up to its whimsicality of the original. While not as good as the first, it's still a film you will want to take your family to, and is a great addition to the Frozen franchise. So yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of summing up the mixed reviews there. As I say, I expected scores up towards the 8s, but obviously we're getting between 6 and 7. But hey, it's Frozen 2. You're going to take your kids to it. You're going to be singing along with some of the songs, which are going to be well worth listening to. That's Frozen 2. That'll be on general release. Obviously, Frozen 2 pretty much everywhere. That'll be on. So get out and watch that and let us know in the comments what you think about it. Right, on to the next one. Film called Harriet. This is a bit... I've managed to see this one, fortunately. It's an action biography drama, so it's actually based on a true story. It's a 12A certificate, 2 hours and 5 minutes. And it's the extraordinary tale of Harriet Tubman's escape from slavery and transformation into one of America's greatest heroes, whose courage, ingenuity, and tenacity freed hundreds of slaves and changed the course of history. Directed by Cassie Lemons, stars Cynthia Erivo, Leslie Odom Jr. and Joe Alwyn. So yeah, I mean, we're talking a gritty film. Obviously, we're talking back to the old South and the slave labour, etc., aren't we? So we're talking a powerful theme. What did the critics think of it? Well, it's got a 6.6 score on Metascore, on the IMDb. Hollywood Reporter's David Rooney wrote, "Despite Erivo's tenacity in the role, the drama feels more stately and impressive than urgent and affecting. It's never uninvolving, though, and the script does a solid job of tracing the formation of a courageous freedom fighter out of a scared runaway." So that was 6. So I say the critics 6.6, which is okay. It's not too bad, but a few people have watched this as well, and Joe Public are only giving it a 6.4 rating. The Movie Doctor on the 13th of November wrote, "Wish it was historically accurate." Well, this is the problem with these things, isn't it? I mean, there's got to be poetic license, and if you do know the story, then obviously you're going to perhaps be a bit disappointed when these things get made. Obviously, the Movie Doctor knows a bit about the story. I came to see this movie because Harriet Tubman's story has always fascinated me. In a world where I can't get to the airport without my Google Maps, this incredible woman managed to navigate not only herself, but tens of slaves to freedom. I was hoping to see an accurate depiction of her navigational skills and cunning, but unfortunately this movie has more of a fictional spin than I anticipated. Still, an interesting movie that pays tribute to an American hero, but not as good as it ought to have been. So obviously not quite gone as far as that, like, because some true stories are probably, I think I've said it before, far better than what Hollywood or the movie studios, whoever it is, dreams up. But that's just how it is. That's just how with the budgets and stuff like that. I've done a blog on this, and I wrote on this Harriet film. Harriet Tubman was a genuine hero, and unfortunately, this telling of her story does not do the truth justice. Much of the film is very samey to what's already out there, and I believe the source material out there was plenty to allow this to stand out from the rest, but the opportunity has been missed. It's okay, but did drag in parts, and the powerful, gritty scenes are not that unfortunate, and left the watcher a little empty, when in reality they should have pummeled our emotions. A heroic story badly told. Yeah, I mean, I give it a 6 out of 10, which is a watchable rating, but I just think it just glossed over things. It just didn't grip me like these sort of films should grip you. They should be powerful. They should play with your emotions. You know, they should toy with you and leave you gasping at times. But it just lacked that for me. It just I wouldn't put you off watching it. I gave it a 6 out of 10 rating, which is watchable. But again, it's just not quite perhaps as good. They missed an opportunity. It's not quite as good as it should be. And there are, if you like, far better, more powerful films of similar themes out there than unfortunately Harriet. But that's pretty much on general release this week. Right, the next one we're going to look at, very strange one. I'm still trying to find out little things about this because it's called Judy and Punch. Obviously, if you live in the UK like me and you know all about your Punch and Judy shows, etc., it obviously has something to do with that. But again, it's a limited release. It's a comedy crime drama. I'll give you some information, but it is confusing to me what exactly this entails and whether I can recommend you go out to the cinema or pictures and watch it. It's an hour and 45 minutes. A comedy crime drama. Seaside, nowhere near the sea, puppeteers Judy and Punch are trying to resurrect their marionette show in an anarchic town on the brink of mob rule. So it just sounds a strange synopsis there, doesn't it? Directed at Mirror Folks and also written by Mirror Folks, Stars Mia Wasikowska, Damon, Herriman, and Benedict Hardie. No critics reviews on this, so the critics haven't seen it. It's getting a user review of 6.3 out of 10, a rating, but there's only actually one written review on it. Was by Cookie Pants, who gave it 10 out of 10, which is, I wouldn't like to normally read 10 out of 10 reviews out, because nothing can be 10 out of 10 in my opinion. It's virtually impossible. Some people give it scores like that, without reason sometimes. But Cocky Pants on the 27th of August 2019 wrote, "Go see this movie. Judy and Punch," and tells us a little bit of what to expect. Judy and Punch is an excellent movie in every way. The performance is phenomenal, particularly the electric Damon Herriman as Punch. There is no way to describe the film style or genre, but I can guarantee it won't be something you see every day. It's how the folklore and fairy tale vibe combined with morbid comedic tone throughout and dark themes, while somehow keeping grounded throughout the entire film. I was lucky enough to see it twice at 2 different festivals, and I hope to God it gets a general release so I can see it again. So, obviously, as I said, quirky, unusual. That's what I'm getting from this sort of film, and I can't wait to watch it and do a review on it and let you know what it's like. If you go and see it in the meantime, because it's quite limited release, if you go and see Judy and Punch, please let me know and tell me, because obviously it does look interesting to say the least. Right, the next one, another bit what I'd call obviously an arty sort of film, Ophelia. Obviously, we're talking the classics here, Ophelia. And it's, if I tell you a little bit about that film, you'll understand. It's the reimagining of Hamlet told from Ophelia's perspective. So if you're into that side, it's not my cup of tea, I'll be honest with you, that sort of stuff. But obviously, if you're into Ophelia and Hamlet, stuff like that, please, the old Shakespeare stuff, please get out and watch this, because it does look really good. It's an hour and 54 minutes, a drama, history, romance, stars Daisy Ridley, the lovely Naomi Watson, Tom Felton. Metascore rate, he's getting a 6 out of 10, which isn't bad for this type of film. New York Magazine, David Edelstein wrote, "This is the ultimate female take back the narrative movie, and frankly, a lot of it is silly and sophomoric, but it's also juicy and fun." So obviously, not glowing report, obviously. It's user reviews 6.8 out of 10, which is pretty good. The top door critic back in July gave it 7 out of 10 and wrote, "Terrible writing." Yeah, give it a 7 out of 10. Goes on to say, novice director Claire McCarthy, only her second full-length feature film, did an outstanding job behind the camera, but not so well in directing her cast. Her editing could have been much better as well. The almost 2-hour length needed trimming down. Semichella's writing was terrible, with long, dragged-out scenes, some too short, poor pacing, and a convoluted plot. On the plus side, great sets, visuals, and cinematography, and an outstanding score by Stephen Price. This film missed the potential it's had, in my opinion. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. So obviously, the stuff there, obviously that tells you Ophelia. If you want to look at this classic Shakespeare Hamlet story from the female actors, what's she, a star, what would you call it, role, whatever, from the Ophelia's point of view, then that might be an interesting watch and something for you to watch. Not my sort of thing, but I will watch it. And give you my honest opinion when I have watched it. Right, on to the next one. Again, a little bit more limited release. Them That Follow. It's a thriller, an hour and 38 minutes, set deep in the wilds of Appalachia, where believers handle death-dealing snakes to prove themselves before God. A pastor's daughter holds a secret that threatens to tear her community apart. It's directed by Britt Poulton and Dan Madison Savage. Stars Kaitlyn Dever, Walton Goggins, and Olivia Colman. Critics not overly impressed with it. It's got a Metascore rating of 5.8. Leslie Felperin from the Hollywood Reporter wrote, "The cast commit gamely to the material, although the script is a bit underwritten, making sudden shifts in character a little odd and a bit random." It's got a user rating, Joe Public rating of 5.3 out of 10. The actors are good, but storyline, plot, most of the dialogue and pacing are horrible. This is what Random wrote back in October. The first 2/3 of this film are very slow-paced, interminable burden on the viewer. The last third is a series of predictable jump scares and tropes. They are shallow and silly, but I guess the point of the first 2/3 is to put you in such a torpor that you fall for the jump scares. The acting is not bad at all, but overall this just falls on several core levels due to script pacing and ham-fisted directing. So not a lot of love from the critics or Joe public really for them that follow, even though it does looks okay. I've watched the trailer. The trailer obviously perhaps looks better than it is. But if you get out there and watch that, that's on limited release. Please let me know what you think. More on general release, this next one. 21 Bridge. I've seen bits and pieces on this over the last few weeks. Has appeared on a lot of promotional things, but that's about it. We do have a user rating of 5.9 out of 10, so just under 6. But we have yet to get any critics reviews or anything. It's an action crime drama. The synopsis does sound quite good. It's about an embattled NYPD detective who's thrust into a citywide manhunt for a pair of cop killers after uncovering a massive and unexpected conspiracy. Directed by Brian Kirk, stars Chadwick, Boseman, J.K. Simmons, and the lovely Sienna Miller. Now, yeah, I mean, it's basically they shut down the city. The Bridges, obviously, which is the name of the title of 21 Bridges, and they're on the hunt for this guy. But it's getting a little bit of. I saw one review on it, which wasn't overly fantastic. It was sort of saying, obviously, it just turns into a basic action thing. I mean, if you watch things at 21 Blocks, was it from a few years ago? That sort of film where obviously it's all in a certain area and it's a manhunt basically. But it's not getting great reviews. As soon as I watch that, I'll let you know. But if you get to watch that at the cinema, I think it's on pretty general release. 21 Bridges. It's a 15 rating. So let us know what you think of that one. And the last one we're going to look at today, it's a British one actually. It's a nice British gritty sort of thing that we a few of these days, aren't they? These British gritty gangland sort of thrillers. It's called Blue Story. It's a 15 rating crime drama, an hour and 31 minutes. It's a hard-hitting crime drama about two friends who become rivals in a vicious London gangland war. Directed by Andrew Odubola, stars Stephen Odubola and Micheal Ward and Khali Best, who've been in some other British type sort of modern type gangsters, obviously gangland sort of things. Screen Daily obviously had a little bit about this film. Blue Story is an intriguing proposition. All that energy and raw talent poured into a highly conventional story with a rapt narrative delivered by the director himself, playing his own Greek chorus. This film is based in part on his childhood experiences. The filmmaking itself can stumble. This isn't always a smooth watch, and such heartfelt sentiment sets it apart from more savvy, sophisticated, similar dramas. But there's an appetite in the UK for a homegrown film like Blue Story, and it certainly hits a topical nerve. Audience will come in large part for those 80 million plus viewers of the 3-part web series Shero's Story. Yet even before that, the Kidulthood films, also driven in part by Damon Jones, which I enjoyed those, who produces here, defied commercial expectations. Top Boy, now resurrected on Netflix and sharing a star in Micheal Ward, is drawing large audiences. It's clearly commercial aspirations going to blow a hole in the box office for others to follow. Plan B tried with ill manners. Expect lines for Blue Story in its South London home. So, yeah, a lot of positivity about the style of the film. And obviously, it's one of these modern things. I don't mind the modern things. I'm obviously 60-year-old, white guy, a middle-class white guy, working middle-class white guy. So it is quite unusual for me, and obviously the language does affect me a little bit, but I do quite enjoy these gritty modern day British gangland London thrillers, and obviously set in other areas, but mainly in London, obviously. So I will be watching that. That's Blue Story. So that's if you get to watch that, please let me know in the comments below or on Twitter what you think of that. So that's all today's films. Limited release. We've got Green Grass. We've also got Judy and Punch, Ophelia, and Then That Follow. On a more general limited release, we've got the 21 Bridges and Blue Story. And obviously on general release, we've got Harriet and, of course, Frozen 2. So they're all available now and to watch this week at the UK cinema and the theatres, and obviously, hopefully, where you are around the world. So please get out, watch them, and let me know what you think. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Push the old subscribe button if you enjoy this, so you'll know when these reviews. We could do these reviews usually every Wednesday. Push the bell notification so you know when they're coming out. You can follow me on Twitter, where I do obviously up-to-date reviews, etc. Obviously posted on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, I'm at nostalgia_movie. I'm on Facebook at Bernard with links to moviegamenostalgia.com, which is my website for old rare DVDs, posters, and board games. And obviously, I'm on Bernard YouTube with all these. So I do movie reviews, poster film reviews, board game reviews, and obviously there's links to my Citizen channel, which is about Manchester City Football Club. That's all on Bernard YouTube. So please push the old bell notification so you know when these things are coming out. So thank you very much for watching. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, have a great one. And if you go and see any of these films, please let me know so I have an idea when I do my own review and see what you think as well. Give us your views on any of these films if you get out to the cinema to watch them, or the movie theatre if you're across the pond. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Look after yourself, look after your friends, and particularly look after your family. And I'll be back to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.